All right, welcome back to the show. Today we are going to be talking to Alex from Golden, the auction company. We were supposed to connect at New York Comic Con, but as New York Comic Con always is, I was running all over the place and we were unable to connect, but they were kind enough to take time out to talk with us today. So let me bring in Alex. We'll find out about him, about Golden, and I think he has some stuff to show us.
How are you? Thank you for having
How's it
me.
going? Well,
Good.
thanks for again. So, tell us a little bit about yourself and Golden Auctions.
Uh, I'm Alex Fung. I'm actually one of the pop culture consignment directors here at Goldin.com, and everything pop culture, right? So from comic books, Pokemon, video games, memorabilia, all of the above. So I have a lot of my hands in all types of categories, and that's what makes me me. So yeah, it's a very I love working for Golden. It's one of the one of the best companies to work for, right? And I love this. I love pop culture. I love all these items I get to handle on a regular day basis, and it's really a dream come true.
So, what is your history with pop culture? Did you grow up reading comics or collecting
Yeah,
anything?
I 100%. I'm a comic book reader from. I'm a Pokemon collector since I was a child. I was into comic books. I was into toys. So of that an era, and I have been nothing. I've been doing it since I was a kid, and my passion turned into this. And a little bit of ADHD, right? Because I'm like into everything, but I think that makes me well rounded
Welcome
and
to the club.
very knowledgeable regarding that. So yeah, and sports collectibles as well too. Very little, but I try to gravitate towards what I love, right? Especially a movie buff, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So yeah, it's fun.
So, tell us a little bit about Golden and what you guys were doing at Comic Con this year.
Uh, like most comic conventions, and we are set up and we take in all types of consignments, right? From uh, video games, everything on anything that you personally want to consign with us, and we take it in, and then we prepare for our next elite auction or weekly auction, and yeah, and we try to maximize the best we can for our consigners. A lot of these collectors who've had these items for many years, they've are attached to them or they're not attached anymore, and they're looking to kind of cash out. So that's where we come in, and we have a market base for that, and it's been growing, and it's pop culture has been growing, right? We are definitely known for sports, but the pop culture has been growing from movie props, right? We just had Harry Potter's wand, all the way to a Batman one, to a Superman one, to a first Spider-Man. Like, we are 100% invested when it comes to collectibles. Um, that's why we're called King of Collectibles.
Well, I know from seeing the show about you guys on Netflix that you've been at New York Comic Con before. So, um, I know that you have people come to your booth, but are you actively searching out
Absolutely.
things like you have, as was shown on the TV show?
Yeah. So basically, obviously, we have our booth, we have our security with us. I'm usually one of the runners that run around to each and every dealer in the show, seeing what they have, seeing what they are willing to consign to us, and avidly looking for the best of the best items, right? Um, needle in a haystack, but there's so many people at New York Comic Con. You're looking at 250,000 people. It's hard, right? A lot of people come by the booth, they say hi, but a lot of dealers who are set up probably far away from the booth can't make it over to us. So I'll usually be the one to go over there, and I could tell you like this: most dealers, they want to kind of like see how their weekend goes from Thursday to Saturday, and then Sunday's like their last day, and they kind of are like, I don't want to take this home, so they give it to Goldin, and it's actually a very easy process.
So, what are some of the things that you guys were able to um, consign this year? Or I know you have some stuff to show us, so why don't you kind of go through that and we'll see where the questions go from there.
Comic-Con was great. It always is. It's just it's like it's my Super Bowl, right? Uh Towards the end of the show, I was able to acquire an Amazing Fantasy 15 signed by Stan Lee. I was working on with one of my consigners also with a very high uh, valued video game, stadium events in a very high grade. Um, Signed another similar one we've sold in our auction, but a whole cast signed Back to the Future comic book as well. This is stuff that we took in during Comic Con, so it will take us a few months to prepare and
Mhm.
for the next elite auction. We did have some sports. Oh, another thing that was really crazy about Comic Con was Topps debuted their Disney Topps cards. So we were able to take in a lot of that since everybody was going to Topps and they were buying. Because during San Diego Comic Con, they did Marvel Topps, right? This is like their collaboration with Marvel and Topps. This time it was Disney and Topps. So one of one Mickey Mouse's, any different Disney characters numbered out of 75, out of 100. So it seemed like those were coming a lot to the booth as well, and we were taking them in for consignment. Um, but overall, it was a great convention. I love Comic Con.
Oh, like I said at the beginning, it's always busy and there's a lot going on and it's hard to kind of get around. So I imagine when you're doing what you need to do, then you're trying to find the stuff that you're looking for. This and there's not a lot of downtime.
A lot of coffee, also. And I guess it's almost so much like not almost like what we're looking for, right? There's so many people that have amazing collectibles, right? And I don't want to deter anybody because maybe their item is less value versus somebody else's item is worth more, right? Because we want to engage, right? There's always going to be a market for people who want to spend the money for a high-end collectible, and there's always going to be a market for people who want to spend just start getting into the hobby, right? Low into mid, right? So, and what's fun about it, I'm having fun. You never know what somebody is going to bring, and you never know what somebody actually has. A lot of these people actually don't know what they own, and it's up to us to give them the knowledge to be like, hey, you have this, and we'll be happy to have it taken in, and let's see what our auction will perform at.
And so once these things are ready for auctions, how do the auctions run and who or can anybody participate?
Yeah, absolutely. We golden.com or sell at golden.co. And yeah, anybody can participate, right? You send us email based off of what the items you have. We'll assess it. We'll see if it's uh, qualifies for our auction, right? So we have weekly auctions that run between 7 to 8 days, and then we have elite auctions that run 30 days. So, and they're designated auctions to designated categories, um, pop culture, vintage, sports, and then we also have something called the Golden 100, which is the one of the best 100 items that Golden can offer.
No. So
That's like the higher tiers, that's a
yeah.
you got an expensive item, I mean, obviously I've seen a lot of items in our auctions go nuclear. I keep saying that, but you never know, right? We can designate it to the elite auction, but sometimes if you're watching the weeklies, you might be able to catch something that you wouldn't see in an elite auction, which actually can also go crazy as well.
So do you have some items to show us today?
Sure. Yeah. So we weren't able to connect at Comic Con, but our pop culture auction was running during New York Comic Con, and now it officially has ended. But let's start from the bottom, and then we'll work way to the top. I'm going to put the gloves on too. This is actually this is really good. Some of the items that we have had in our auction. we had a lot of stuff on display as well. I'm not sure if you were able to come by the booth and take a look, but one of the items,
I saw stuff in passing as I was wandering around trying to find my next interview site.
yeah. Oh my gosh. So, okay, let's take a look. So with the crate, I mean, have you heard of Labubu? Labubu has been the craziest thing.
I've heard about it, and I am kind of glad that I don't know about it, but I heard about it that it's crazy.
Well, I mean, it blew up in the last 3 or 4 months, and we were actually fortunate to actually get some consigners to consign some Labubus. But uh, Casey Lung, right? We have one of these. It ended in our auction right now. This is a 2024 6-inch golden Labubu.
Okay.
It ended at around $5,000. Crazy.
Wow.
Anybody who's a fan of Labubu, this is definitely a piece that they would love to have in their collection. But showing off that, this is one great piece. You may like, this was my favorite, one of my favorites, that ended at auction as well at 5,800.
Oh, is that the Back to the Future
Yes.
almanac? Okay.
Sports Almanac 9.6. This one's really, really, really good. Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, James Token, the principal, and Biff. Very high grade. We broke a record on this particular book. I mean, anybody who's a Back to the Future fan knows to have a sports almanac, and then signed by all 4 of them. It's definitely really nice. This came out in go ahead.
And I assume because it's CGC, then everything's been authenticated.
Yeah, so this is a CGC 9.6. The yellow label is what CGC offers as a signature series, which has been witnessed and certified, right? So these were obviously, at the time, got them all signed, and CGC was able to authenticate them on the spot.
Nice.
And it's a 9.6. That's nice. This one was something that went crazy. I'll show you this one. Show you that.
I can tell it's original art.
Yeah, original comic art. John Byrne, X-Men, page 15. This is from X-Men 136. And we sold this for $93,000, almost $94,000.
Oh,
beautiful.
Yeah, I would have just had to, sold a kidney or something to even be in the running.
Amazing. Nightcrawler. This is beautiful. Amazing. Phoenix, you got Phoenix right here. Here's Wolverine, and you have Colossus. It's great.
Oh, that's cool.
So another one that we did break a record for was from 2025, actually this year. Sold, right? Any Pokemon fans? I had to take a look at this.
My son, I'm glad he's not.
Let me show you this.
Oh, wow.
Championship trophy, original box, record price of $37,216. This one is it's very heavy.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It better be very heavy for that price.
Oh man. Has good weight to it too. This is wonderful too. This has been exploding a lot. Pokemon has just been on fire the last couple of years, and if it's not a card, it's a trophy. If it's not a trophy, it's I mean, you can't even explain.
Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, I love it. It's beautiful, and it's only 2000. And by the way, it's 2025. It's not even an older one. So, we're fetching those types of numbers, but yeah.
So, as you work in this, industry, are there any, things that you are personally keeping an eye out or that you holy grails that you're looking for yourself.
I can assure you. I mean, I besides Labubu, right? I love Pokemon. I mean, this is Holy Grail, Charizard, sealed product, original comic art. I'm a big comic book collector, and then yeah, I mean, Back to the Future too, right? Not only is it a comic book, but it's signed, right, by the
So,
two.
somebody is watching you while you're handling all that stuff, so it doesn't leave the building, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Very, very safe. Yeah, we have our security right here too. So, but
So anything else that you would like to mention about what you guys do, what you guys offer?
uh, besides that, I mean, we can talk. I mean, do you want to also talk about one of our upcoming auctions?
Sure, let's do it.
Well, one of the I'm glad you're in, taking place with this interview. We will be having the largest. This is going to be the next stage, right? Pop culture is done, Comic Con is over, but how do we step the bar, right? And I can assure you that we have the largest, highest grossing TCG auction in history of the hobby taking place this winter.
And so for people who uh, may not know what you're talking about, can you give us a little more
Well,
explanation?
I can't talk too much about it, but I
Sure.
promise you it will draw national and international attention. Our team is
Hmm.
excited about it. And we know fans and collectors will be excited too. But I promise, um, we will let you know in time, but that's really all I can share today. But
Understand.
I can tell you this. Um, the minimum price to be qualified for this auction would be $1,000 and up, right? And these are all types of anything regarding TCG, Pokemon, and Golden.com. And you can email us at sell@golden.co as well.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time today to chat, and and unfortunately, this is not like my purview, for me personally, but I know that
Yeah.
there's a lot of people out there who enjoy this part of the hunt, and this is a nice um, way that they can do that, and it's a nice way that you guys can help those people who are trying to offload stuff.
I mean, what I mean, I may ask you then, like, I mean, you've come to many Comic Cons as well. What was the highlight of your Comic Con?
I mean, it was just some of the interviews I got to do. I got to interview Ronda Rousey,
Nice,
she has had a comic book that she did with AWA Studios. I got to talk briefly with Scott Snyder from Batman. Um,
nice. Batman
yeah,
New
so
52.
yeah, and current DC knockout absolute Batman. So,
Great.
but I mean, for me, it's like it's always about talking to the creators, seeing what's going on, making connections, for what I do, and but it's always a great time. I have a lot of creators. Like when I talk to creators, via this method, then it's always nice to go and meet in person, and they always are always like, oh yeah, I remember it. I go, I'm sorry, it was awkward, but but no, it's just a good time for me to kind of go and do and talk to about the things that I really enjoy. So.
I think that's one of the best things, right? It's really, it depends on like also like the consignments, right? I think it's also buying back our nostalgia. As I get older, there's certain items that I personally want to collect, right? Or I had as a child, right? And whether it was a Mario Brothers that we played, or now I'm buying the sealed copy, right? Just to preserve that history, right? That I grew
Mhm.
up with that, or my parents buying me the first Nintendo from Toys R Us or a first Proton Pack from Ghostbusters. I see that like a lot of that trickles with me to I had that as a kid, so now I want that as an adult, right? And I think it's more fun, right? I'm having fun. I love it.
Oh,
Um,
here's the problem I have. I have all my old GI Joe. We're
yeah,
talking, Terradrome, USS Flag. You know, I had two brothers, so we got the stuff for everybody. But I have my GI Joe, Transformers,
yeah,
He-Man,
yeah.
all in a storage unit, and my wife is like, "You need to get rid of it." It's like, I don't want to get rid of my childhood.
And I think
But
it's just upgrading, right? It goes. I mean, think about the market, right? I think i- it's wherever there's genuine interest from fans and collectors, there will always be a market.
Mhm,
And whether you have a GI Joe or Transformers figure that wasn't sealed in the box, there's still a market for the one that's outside the box or complete in box, right? So there's always
mhm,
different tiers, right? Like I'm an
yeah,
inbox collector, right? I
mhm,
love them sealed. Uh, but also, I'm buying the sealed one. Then you also have the display one because obviously, when you're
right,
getting it graded, you're never going to be able to play with it ever again. It's encapsulated, and you're preserving that. It's the same thing for comic books, right? Nobody's going to crack this open. It's going to be sealed forever, right? Unless you open it, right?
right,
So you
yeah,
always have a copy to read, and you have one to display, and that warrants the grade, you know, of the comic book determines the value. Yeah, the
right.
lesser the grade, the lesser the value. The higher the grade, the higher the value, right? So it's interesting because it's 2015. You had to have been there, grab that book. I mean, one perfect example is Walking Dead 1. Walking Dead 1 came out in 2003, right? And no one would have expected it to be the biggest AMC show ever, right? And having that first edition or first Walking Dead 1 by Robert Kirkman, you had to have bought those books, held on to it, and then hope that oh my God, and by the way, most people don't just buy multiples, they just buy the one. And by that
Right.
time, they already read the book and everything like that. So you're never going to fetch that 9.6 and 9.8 grade. And that's what warrants the value, right? Because at the time, you had to have put it away and never read it and just left it alone. And everyone read it. That's
I
what's
do have one book like that, and do you remember back? It was back in the, I think, early to mid '90s when DC Comics put out their 80 world or 80-page Elseworld special, and they all got pulped. Well, the was never released because there was a panel of baby Superman crawling into a microwave. Well, I was able to secure via eBay one of the original copies of it, and so like I'm holding on to it. You know, but
But
I don't.
I think it's also like the fact is that you're reminiscing when you purchased it, and that's what I can see the smile on your face, right? Because that's what it is, right? It's it's
I went a week or two without food because I was in grad school and I wanted the comic.
I had to stop. I mean, I did stop. I stopped buying modern, like it was that Walking Dead era. But like when New 52 came out and it was Scott Schneider, I was like all in. Like it was
Mhm.
insane. Like the 52 new issues, new story, like everything was just like, man. And then the variant covers, it was like getting overwhelming, right? And it's just when do you shut it off, right? Because
Yeah,
I'm like, I have a whole house filled of collectibles that it sits on the shelf, and I smile at it, but the wife is like, "Hey, you need to sell it. You need to get rid of this stuff," and I'm like, "No, I'm not getting rid of it."
I'm right there with you.
Oh my gosh! But so I'm always,
I,
always hunting, right? Comic Con,
yeah,
you never know what somebody has. That's why I love estate sales. I love garage sales. I love vintage, stores. You never know. Like you never know eh, what someone has, and
yeah,
I think that's what's fun about it. You know,
definitely. Um, well, I think I don't want to keep you too long, and
absolutely. Yeah. Any other
but
questions? Just let me know too. Just
yeah. So kind of give one more time where people can find out about you
okay.
know what you guys are doing and where you on social media and all that good stuff. And
Uh, so yes, golden.com. We have a show on Netflix called King of Collectibles. We're very, very proud to announce that we will be airing our season 3 in December. Very excited about that. If you guys have watched Camp Collectibles, you saw how crazy it gets during New York Comic Con in season 2. And we are Golden, and we now are also teamed up with eBay, and we want the best. We want all your collectibles, and give us the opportunity to consign. Sorry, give us the opportunity to acquire some of your collectibles, and let's see what they do in our auction, from Pokemon, video games, sports, comic art, music, signed memorabilia, movie props. We're doing it all. And get ready, because this is just the beginning. I can assure you.
Well, it was great talking to you, and maybe next year at the show we can actually connect in
Yes.
person and uh, find out what you have, what you've been up to, and what you have to offer going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Chad. I appreciate it. Guys, tune in. Camp Collectible season 3, late December. We'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thanks, Chad.